Hello everyone, it's Heidi and welcome to this week's episode of Baby Name Sunday. Today I am going to be sharing some helpful sibling name options or first baby name options for you guys. I uploaded a box on Instagram for you guys to submit a sibling name that you guys are having trouble pairing with. Maybe you're pregnant in the next few months here, or some of you guys were just looking for a first baby name and you guys are kind of stumped. Now this is going to be quite brief, and I mean they only gave me the sibling name and the gender that they're after. So if you want more of an in-depth consultation, I do offer name consultations between myself and you. You guys can email me. I'll have my email down in the description box below, or you can send me a DM over on Instagram. We get really nitty-gritty on what your style is for names and even just your guys' personality that comes to life in your little baby's name. All right, so let's get into today's suggestions that I am giving to you for your either sibling names or your first baby name. So to start off the list here, I will not be mentioning the mom or father's name just for privacy reasons. So Mama is looking for a brother to Bellamy. So Bellamy is their little son, which I love for a little boy. Very sweet and kind of romantic sounding. Bellamy means fine friend. So first option here for a boy, I have the name Ames, spelled A-M-E-S. Now Ames also means friend, so you have that friendship between them. Bellamy and Ames, very sweet sounding with those soft endings. I also have a little bit of a vintage option here ending with the Y with Bellamy. I have Monty, spelled M-O-N-T-Y, which means pointy hill. A couple more options here. I have Auden, spelled A-U-D-E-N, Auden, which means old friend. Then lastly, I love the name Darwin with Bellamy. Bellamy and Darwin, D-A-R-W-I-N, and this one means dear friend. Next up, we are going so fun here. We're finding a sister name for Delilah Indy. Now Delilah Indy is such a gorgeous name together. I think that's so fun. So I'm really trying to get that kind of boho-y, earthy nature kind of vibe for Delilah. So we have the name Juniper Rain, which I thought was just so fun. Delilah Indy and Juniper Rain just has that pep to the name. We also have Mabel Blush. So it has a little bit of those vintage roots just like Delilah, Mabel Blush. Then lastly, maybe if you feel Delilah Indy is a little bit more girly, kind of boho-y, we can go with Winslow Storm. So to get that little bit of an edge, but still having Winslow as that vintage classic to tie with Delilah. Moving on the list here. So we are looking for a gender neutral sibling name for Hatley, H-A-T-L-E-Y, super unique, and Greeley, spelled G-R-E-E-L-E-Y. So I have quite a few here, and because I see that you are ending those names with L-E-Y, I'm keeping with that. So I have the name Renly, spelled R-E-N-L-E-Y, Renly. I also have Ripley, which I find so fun. I love that one, Ripley. We have Raleigh, which is a little bit more of that kind of southern charm, R-A-W-L-E-Y. And then lastly, I have Morley, spelled M-O-R-L-E-Y, Morley, nickname Maury. Next up, we are looking for a sister to Calla Artemis. Now I'm loving these Greek roots behind both the names. Calla means beautiful and Artemis is a Greek mythological goddess. So we need to keep this trend going. I have two options here for you. So I have the name Lena Callisto, and Callisto means most beautiful and is also a Greek mythological name to tie in with Artemis. And for Lena, I was really thinking like the double L's in Calla. You have Lena with those double N's with that A ending. Calla and Lena. Just sounds so pretty together. Then my second first name option here, still to pair with Callisto because I find that middle name just suits so well with Artemis. I have the name Thea, spelled T-H-E-A, which is also a Greek name, and I love it with that soft A ending. So we have Calla and Thea or Calla and Lena. All right, so we are looking for a brother and sister option to Harper and Walker. I'm thinking trendier occupational names ending in ER because you already have Harper, Walker. So I love for a boy, I love the name Bauer for a boy, B-A-U-E-R, Bauer. Harper, Walker, and Bauer. Like, just so trendy, keeping on with that ER ending. And for girls, I'm really loving Baker, which is my absolute favorite occupational name for a girl, Baker. I think that's so cool. We also have Briar, which could go for girl or a boy. I really like the B-R-I-E-R for a girl or A-R for a boy, but to keep on with the E-Rs, loving that one for a little girl. Or if you're wanting something not so occupationally, but still keeping on with that ER ending, I love the name Clover for a little boy or girl. Can work for either, and I think it's really sweet adding in some nature vibes to Harper and Walker. Next submission here, this is so much fun. All right, so we are looking for a sister for Niora. How gorgeous is that name? N-I-O-R-A-H, Niora. She wants it to start with M, the letter M. So I have two options here for you. Niora has roots meaning honor. So I have the name Maria, spelled M-I-R-E-Y-A, Maria, and this one means admired, so it has kind of both those virtue meanings in them. Then I have the name Marcena, spelled M-A-R-C-E-N-A. So we have Niora and Maria, or Niora and Marcena. I love the flow of them together, and Marcena is actually such a powerful name. It means courageous, vigilant, with wisdom. We are now looking for a brother for Willowbrook. Willowbrook. So we are going nature here, I feel. We're looking for trendy too. So I have a couple options here. I have Oakley West. So yeah, Willowbrook and Oakley West. I feel like those two just play so well together. I also have Maddox Reese, which I thought sounded super cool. Actually, Zayla helped me with a few of these, and Maddox Reese was one of her options for you. Then lastly, Zayla actually helped me out with this one. So Willowbrook and Ambrose Fox. How cool is that combo? Ambrose Fox. Literally means immortal fox together. I think that's so cool, ties the nature vibes together, but it also gives off this really powerful sound just like Willowbrook. Next, we are also looking for another brother name. We have some really cool and edgy letter names here. So we're looking for a brother for Xander with a Z, Jackson, J-A-X-O-N, and Lexton. Now Lexton is L-E-X-T-Y-N. How futuristic are those spellings and those names? I'm loving them. And she really wants some edgy letter names, kind of same vibe. So I am thinking for you, Quinlan, spelled Q-U-I-N-L-A-N, Quinlan. I'm also thinking Waylon, W-A-Y-L-A-N. I'm also looking at Calyx, spelled C-A-L-Y-X. I can really see that one. Then lastly, if we're going really trendy, just like Xander and Jackson, I'm really thinking the name Hendrix, H-E-N-D-R-I-X. All right, switching things up here, we are now looking for a girl's name that means wolf or has some kind of wolf in the meaning or the name. First off the bat, I have to say I love the name Channing. So C-H-A-N-N-I-N-G, Channing for a little girl. Now it means wolf cub, so absolutely perfect for you. Something a little bit more girlier, I have the name Lavella, nickname Lovey, L-O-V-E-L-L-A. It means wolf as well. And then something even more vintage and really fun and cool. It's a little bit more gender neutral, but this is the name Rudy, spelled R-U-D-Y, and that one means famous wolf. All right, moving on here. I'm trying to get through as many as I can. So next up, Mama is looking for a simple nature name beginning with O. So the letter O. There's lots of ones that come to mind, just like ocean, like that's the very first one that comes to mind, but a few other ones that are really sweet, maybe a little bit more unique. I have Oren, O-R-E-N. I also have Orion, O-R-I-O-N, if you're wanting something a little bit more celestial. Then we also have Olive, O-L-I-V-E for a little girl. And lastly, I have the name Oak or Oaks. Any kind of oak derivative. Man, we have tons there. All right, so moving on with our next submission here, we are now looking for names with a hard K sound. So she specifically thinks like Jackson with that hard K in the middle. So I have a few options here for you. I have hard K at the end and I have hard K in the middle. So first one here, I have the name Maxon, spelled M-A-C-K-S-E-N, Maxon. I think that is such a cool spelling. I think it's unique and different. Then another really trendy way here that could really work for either boy or a girl, I have the name Beckham, spelled B-E-C-K-H-A-M, Beckham. This is one of my favorite names. I love it for a girl. Same with the name Maverick. So I have that hard K at the end there, Maverick. And I love that one, again, for a girl, but you can do it for a boy, obviously, as well. And lastly, just like Maxon, a little bit more different, I have the name Huckson. So H-U-C-K-S-O-N, Huckson. How do you guys like that one? I really like it as maybe like more of a modern and unique Hudson. Huckson. Love that one with that nickname Huck. Oh, this next one makes me so happy because it's her very first baby boy and she's stumped on a name. She's wanting something a little bit more Western in style. So I have a few options here for you. First on the list, I have the name Boone, B-O-O-N-E, Boone. Now this one means blessed and happy, so I thought that was perfect meaning for your first little boy. Secondly, really Western. I love the name Stetson, spelled S-T-E-T-S-O-N, Stetson. This is really unique. It's very unheard of, but I've seen it pop here and there. Now it's a surname possibly meaning little fighter. Then lastly, another option here that I find so cool is Brawley, spelled B-R-A-W-L-E-Y, Brawley. Now that one is so unique. It means meadow at the slope of a hill, but all three of those, Boone, Stetson, and Brawley, like I can already see those being like triplet boys or sibling boy names. So I hope you love those options there and lots of good luck and a very safe delivery for your future little boy. Next submission here, actually we're looking for a baby sister for Sailor Quinn. For this one, I was looking at syllable pairings because they sound really great together. And I was also obviously looking at trendy names because Sailor and Quinn, so trendy, kind of unique as well. So my first option for you, I have the name Piper Wren to really play off those syllables, Sailor, Piper, and then there's Quinn and Wren. So I thought those two flowed nicely together as well. All trendy names. Then for something a little bit more different that I thought was really special, I have the name Penelope Scout. So Sailor Quinn and Penelope Scout. Those are just so dreamy together. So cool for your future girls. Moving on quick to our next submission. So we are looking for a brother for Jensen. And Jensen's their little son. I love that as well for a little boy. It's like Bellamy to me. Very sweet, kind of genderless. I also believe that they called Jensen JJ. So I kind of kept that in mind. Now, first sibling option here for you, I have the name Larson, L-A-R-S-O-N with that nickname Lars. I thought that was really cool for Jensen and Larson. Then a second option here, we have Logan, and Logan, you can do that nickname Logie, which I thought was very sweet. And lastly, something really cool is Jensen and Callan. So they have that kind of similar ending, C-A-L-L-A-N, and of course with that nickname Cal. For this next one, we are going vintage, and I love this submission here. So sister for Della and Dottie. Both really great vintage names here. She's curious if she should stick with the D or go for something else. Della and Dottie. Personally, I think she should stick with the D, but I did give her a few options here if she didn't want to. Right away, two D names that I see fit perfectly with Della and Dottie. One is Demi, Della, Dottie, and Demi. And lastly, there's Della, Dottie, and Daisy. So Demi and Daisy for your little girls. Like, I am in heaven right now. I think that's like a dream little trio there. But if you are not looking for a D name, but still want to keep that kind of vintage vibe alive, I love that, vintage vibe alive, I have the name Quinn, which I thought was really great because you have 2 L's in Della, you have 2 T's in Dottie, so I have 2 N's in Quinn. I also have the name Libby, L-I-B-B-Y, with those double B's. I think that's really sweet, Della, Dottie, and Libby. Then lastly, I have the name Vienna. So a little bit more different with those double N's though, as well, to tie the 3 together. All right, we are now on the hunt for a boy name. And Mama's name is Shanice, spelled C-H-A-N-E-S-E. And she wants a name very similar to her name for her little son, which I think is just so adorable, very sweet. I have 2 options here for you. Right away, I love the name Chance for your little boy, C-H-A-N-C-E, virtue name with tons of great modern twist to it. Super trendy and timeless as well. So you have Chance and Shanice. Then lastly, if you're wanting to go maybe a little bit more vintage sounding, but I think it's just, this name makes me so happy, and it means gamble or fortune. It's the name Chauncey, spelled C-H-A-U-N-C-Y, Chauncey, and then your name is Shanice. So I thought those 2, Chance or Chauncey, they both give off a little bit of a different vibe, but I think they're just so sweet to pair up with your name. I'm gonna actually go through 4 more submissions, and then I guess I'm gonna save the rest for another video because I don't want it to get too long and the kids are going nuts. All right, so we are now looking for a girl's name that means moonlight. I love this so much. I have 2 options here for you that I already think right away. I love the name Ayla, A-Y-L-A. Has a bunch of different meanings, but it's Turkish originated, meaning like moonlight, halo. Oh, there's just so many great meanings behind that name, and it's absolutely stunning, Ayla. And then another A option here, because there isn't too many names meaning moonlight that are really unique, and I feel like you're going for a little bit more unique, is the name Acell, spelled A-Y-S-E-L, Acell. Really gorgeous there. I think both of them have this just elegance and like wow factor with that meaning of moonlight. Next submission here, Mama is looking for a strong, unique, and nature brother name for her son, which is Phoenix King. Now I was thinking, wow, your son name is just absolutely amazing. I might be biased because my daughter's middle name is Phoenix. So I have 4 options here for you, actually 4 name combos, because I was just going a little ham with this one because I loved it. Love strong meanings for a boy. So I have the name Orion Knight, and Knight is spelled K-N-I-G-H-T. So it's almost like night of the sky. Thought it was really powerful. A little bit more trendier here, I have the name Atlas Orion, which is 2 very powerful. I mean, Atlas is a Greek god name. Orion, obviously you have Orion's belt, and just like a star name. I love it. Then something a little bit more different, I have the name Legend Steel. So Phoenix King and Legend Steel. Sounds so tough, like this little warrior of a boy just growing up into a man. I think legend for a boy. First name is really cool. Then lastly for you, I have the name Madden Rush. Spelled M-A-D-D-E-N and then Rush. I think that one is so cool. So you have 4 options there that are very rough and tough for Phoenix King's brother, like Phoenix King. How cool can you get? All right, second to last submission here that I'm gonna get to. We're looking for a spunky girl name, sister to Elsie. So something a little bit more spunky, but I wanna still give off that same sweet kind of vintage flair. She was due Tuesday, so a few days ago. So I need to help her out here, okay? I hope you haven't gone into labor yet. So first one here, 2 kind of similar options. I have Jettie, J-E-T-T-I-E, or Jetta, and I love the nickname Jet for your little spunky little girl. I also love the name Avalon, A-V-A-L-O-N, Avalon. It's such a spunky name. It literally means island of apples, and in general just sounds so cool for a little girl. Elsie and Avalon. 3 more options here because I really want to give you as many possibilities considering you're due already. We have Bryony, B-R-Y-O-N-Y, Bryony. We also have Destry, D-E-S-T-R-Y. These are all vintage options here for you just to go with Elsie. So I think that's awesome as well to pair them. And then lastly, I have the name Roxy, R-O-X-I-E, which is a total kind of edgy, beachy name, I feel, for a little girl, Roxy. Now that brings me to my very final submission that I'm gonna be able to get to today. I got so many, so thank you guys so much for sending them in, and I will get to more in the near future with another probably 2 or 3 videos because you guys sent in tons. All right, so we are looking for, Mama is looking for a brother name for Alessia. So Alessia has a Greek name, it means defending man, so very, very powerful for a girl. So I want to really carry that into the boy, something really wow factor. First, right off the bat, I think of Ambrose. It means immortal, very strong. Alessia and Ambrose with those double A's as well. Another one here that means kind of warrior or strength is Emrys, E-M-R-Y-S. Alessia and Emrys. I think those two are really cool together with those powerful meanings. And then a few other ones here, Amias, A-M-I-A-S, Amias. We have Apollo for a Greek god name, A-P-O-L-L-O. And then lastly, something a little bit more different. I've already mentioned it at the list, but it's such a great brother name for, like, for example, for Alessia. We have Calyx, C-A-L-I-X, Calyx. And it means chalice, and chalice kind of is a symbol of friendship and family and keeping, you know, your family together. It's like very meaningful. Calyx is also a floral name, so I think it kind of gives off that romance to it, just like Alessia does. So I hope you guys enjoyed these name suggestions to you. I really hope I inspired you in some way, or maybe you're gonna pick one of the ones that I suggested. Either way, this was so much fun, and I look forward to doing another one of these in the future. It's one of my favorite videos to film just because it gives me almost like, it's like a little quiz and I give you guys the answer. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it today. Make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up. Go follow me over on Instagram as well, and maybe mention if you guys are having any troubles finding sibling names or first baby names or whatever the name help that you need. Write it in the comments below, and I'm sure all of us will be able to help you out down there too. And again, if you need more of a one-on-one name consultation, I'd be happy to help you out there. If you need any inquiries about them, send me a DM over on Instagram, or you can send me an email. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next Sunday with another baby names list. Bye.